Hello everybody, this is Sarah again with In Stitches by Sarah. This is another floss tube. Thank you again for joining me. I think this is number 4 or 5. So thank you. Oh, on that note, I wanted to apologize for my videos being in SD the last 3 or 4 times. I don't know why that's happening. I'm new to this YouTube stuff, so I don't know why it's happening. I know it's very annoying. I don't enjoy watching SD videos either. So hopefully this one is in HD and it won't be an issue from here on out. Because, you know, everything's better in HD. My art's better in HD. Everything's better in HD. Okay, how is everybody doing? It has been an interesting week. It's been a troubling week. I don't know about you guys, but I watched almost every second of the impeachment. My son's education probably faltered a little bit last week, but I felt it was important to watch it and to see the new videos and to get a more detailed aspect of what happened. And I mean, we all knew the outcome. We all knew that they wouldn't convict. So that puts us in a very, very scary predicament. But enough about that. That's not why you guys are here. At least I don't think so. But that's my take on it. And I realized that I'm very motivated by anger. I don't know if I've mentioned that before, but it's usually large anger, not just like, oh, I'm angry the dishes weren't done. Cross-stitch patterns don't usually happen for me, you know, if I'm angry at my husband for not getting the dishes done. But they do come when, you know, 43 senators think that Trump's actions were okay. So a lot of patterns have been swimming in my mind. I'm hoping to get some of those down. Some of those I have gotten down, and I'll show you those, but I've got a lot in my brain, and so I get to put a lot down. So forgive me if it's just like, and this, and this, and this, and this. But sometimes that's just how it is. And right now there's a lot of things to be angry about. So I have a lot of inspiration around me. One thing, if you guys have been following me on Instagram or my Etsy, or I may have mentioned it here before as well, but I've started using felt and fabric for the back of my hoops. And you guys need to check out my video, the how to finish a cross stitch project. Super simple. I show 2 different ways, so check that video out. Excuse me. But I wanted to show you some of the fabric that I have that I'm excited to work with, and felt. So I got these squares on Amazon. You can see they're different colors. I will admit they're a little thick. Some of my frames don't really like them. I've broken a few frames, to be honest with you. I've ordered some thinner felt, but these will do in a pinch with most hoops. You just have to really unscrew them. So yeah, so this has been fun to put on a lot of my projects. And as you can see here, it's just super simple. You can actually get a couple of them with the smaller hoops, and you can even use the bigger hoops as well. So if you're interested, see how I use felt to back my projects, make sure you watch, camera moved, watch that video. And then I wanted to show you some fun fabric that I've been stashing away. And now I've become obsessed with collecting fabric. Oh dear, my craft room, right? Okay, so Wonder Woman. This one's really fun because it has a lot of different poses and a lot of different, you know, images that you can see here. So I'm excited to use this to back some projects, some female empowered projects for sure. I also have some Office. I'm a nerd. I love The Office. So I have some Dunder Mifflin Office fabric that I got on a great Black Friday sale from Joann's actually. So there's that. And on the same sale, I got a Friends fabric. I already have a project in mind for this. So it's the names of all the friends. So that's fun. I'm a huge Friends fan as well. I've seen all of them for sure. Oh, and then, yeah, so that is the fabric. And then I have some finished projects that I'll show you on a new fabric as well. So you'll get to see that fabric. So those are some new fabrics that I have that I'm excited to play with. I would love to hear your thoughts. What projects should I do with the Wonder Woman, Dunder Mifflin, and Friends? So excited. I love learning new things. I love using my hands. I love learning new things. I love learning new crafts. I've become obsessed with learning all new ways to do fiber arts and embroidery and cross stitch. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I'm trying to up my game a little bit. I've been doing this for 30 years and I've been pretty traditional with everything. Not by moral reasons. That's just how I was taught. And I was like, oh my gosh, I could stitch on this. Oh my gosh, I could do this. So the artistic side in me is coming out. I'm expanding my boundaries a little bit. So it'll be fun to see what comes out of that and what comes out of the creativity that's been locked inside my mind for a little bit. So that is that. The next thing, oh, the whips. Next thing are the works in progress that I have been working on. So this one you will be very familiar with if you've seen my other videos. This is the Hoppy Home piece. So as you can see, if you've seen the video prior to this, my floss tube prior to this, I didn't have any of this green filled in. I think I was only about right here. So as you can see, I've made a lot of progress. I just have this green to fill in these hops and the leaves, and then just the writing and the little wheat stacks, and then I'll be done. So I'm hoping to be done with this in the next 7 days. So I'll be excited to get this finished. I've really enjoyed stitching this piece. This is by Meredith Designs. This is not my original piece. I will put a link in the description of this video to her website where you can get this design and where you can see it as well. But it's really fun. I've probably going to stitch one for myself as well when I get some time. But I'm doing it on this tea dyed fabric Aida cloth that is, I believe it's a 25 count. So that means there's 25 squares in an inch. So the squares are pretty small. You can see the squares are pretty small, but I really enjoyed this project. So, but it'll be nice to be done with it. I always enjoy finishing a project as well, because that means there's more excuses to start new ones. Let's face it, you don't really need an excuse to start a new one, just start a new one. So this next whip, I'm really excited about. This is an original pattern by me. It's probably the brightest project I have done. I'm not going to tell you what it's going to end up saying because I'm just so, I don't know. I get really attached to projects and this is one of them, but it's going to be super campy. It's going to be a NC-17 saying, kind of my forte, some sexual sayings. So I'm really excited about this. There's going to be red glitter involved. So this should be done in the next week. So if you tune in next week, next floss tube, you should be able to see it finished. But so far, this is what I have. Get this string out of the way here. Here, I'll pull that through. There you go. Easier to see. So the cupcake, as you can see, is really, really bright. I went with pinks and electric blue, the cherry on top. I'm really excited. I'm really excited for this project. It was inspired by a comedian that I follow on Instagram and I'm not even really sure what kind of shop they are, but it was a saying on a mug. So stay tuned for the next floss tube, and this should be completely done. So it's been super fun. And I am going to backstitch. I'm not completely done with the cupcake. I am going to backstitch so it pops a little bit more and it brings it out. As much as I don't like backstitching, it really, really does make a difference in your project. So if you ever are like, oh, I don't want to backstitch, do it. It's going to make a difference. It's worth it. I know it's a pain in the butt, but it's worth it. So those are the only whips I have going on right now. Sorry, I've got stuff all over my pants. I have actually finished a lot of pieces. As I said, I had the impeachment streaming on my phone, kind of on my lap, and my son was either, you know, playing in his room or watching TV or playing video games or whatever. He wasn't being neglected. We interacted. But I'd be cross-stitching a lot. So it's multitasking, very, very much multitasking. I'm a mom. So I got a lot of stuff finished because, like I said, I watched it pretty much from when it started to when it ended, and then the commentary afterwards. So those are the only whips that I have done. I will show you some of the finished projects later that I got finished during that time. However, I wanted to show you my patterns that I created. So this first one came out of another Instagram conversation that I was having, and needless to say, I'm not a fan of the GOP. And I mean, this was the perfect saying. She's like, I want to see this. So I created it pretty much on the spot. It's like, that's awesome. So anytime, seriously, comment, cross-stitch ideas. Seriously, I love being inspired by my community and my fans and my clients and my customers. I love it. So this is the GOP element, and it says, I expected nothing and I am still disappointed. This was also created before the impeachment, and now I am just disappointed is too, it's not strong enough a word. Not strong enough a word. So that is one of the patterns that I created since I last saw you. This next one is just a really small, like I said in one of my videos before, sometimes I just need to get stuff out, stuff down. I've gotten some small oval hoops that I wanted to play around with some new patterns. So I just created this simple, this simple pattern. I say yeesh a lot. It's kind of a phrase that we say in my house. Even my 7-year-old son is like, yeesh. So I thought it was fun. I think I'm going to create a little collection of like at-home sayings for my pleasure. So this one will go in one of my new oval hoops. It's also a fairly small pattern. It's only probably about, 4 inches by 2 to 3 inches. So small pattern, but depending on the Aida cloth that you stitch it with, that you stitch it on, will vary the project size. I tend to use 18 count a lot just because I like to bust things out really quick, and 18 count tends to just make things really small. I don't know, could be a trick of the brain, but I tend to stitch things faster on 18 count. And this next one is also a very simple pattern. I was trying to create little simple Valentine's Day patterns, which I know is past Valentine's, but who doesn't love love, right? I've been binge watching Bridgerton, who hasn't, and Bernie Sanders. Like, my love for Bernie Sanders, I created this right after him in the inauguration and the mittens. Love Bernie Sanders, right? So sometimes pop culture comes together and creates the perfect meme saying cross-stitch pattern. So this is a burn for you. I did have one finished, but I sold it on my Etsy store, but I wanted to show you the pattern I did create. This is also a small pattern, and on 18 count, it ends up being a 3-inch hoop. So it's very easy to stitch up, very quick. I like quick and easy. I also like to create things that are easy for new stitchers. I know sometimes you can see those patterns, you're like, what? This is crazy. So I like to create things that aren't intimidating, that new stitchers can just pick up and do fairly quickly. So those are the patterns I've created since I've last seen you. Like I said, my brain's just ticking things off. So now I'm going to show you the finishes that I have finished since I've seen you. So like I said, I did a lot of these during the impeachment. This first one was one of my best. It's a redo. It's like what is it called? A reboot. It's a reboot from one of my best sellers from last year. And I know it's a little outdated, but we're still quarantined and we're still mentally health wise struggling, a lot of us. Also another Valentine's. It's kind of an anti-Valentine's. And sometimes, honestly, I feel like I'm still doing this. I feel like I'm still screaming inside my heart. My previous pattern was very small. It was very void, honestly, of much style. It was just 2 little hearts and some words in the middle. So I wanted to do something a little updated, something with more color. I really like it. And then as you can see, like I talked about the felt. So here is a piece backed with felt. I really like it because my hoop butts tend to be messy. And so I really like that it's a nice clean finish. It tends to hold the piece in tighter as well. And so I really like how the felt finishes the piece. So this is one of my finishes. This is a 3-inch hoop done on 18 count Aida cloth as well. It looks to be kind of a sand color. It's not white. I'm pretty sure I used 666 for the heart. I'm a big fan of the color 666, Christmas red. It makes me chuckle that 666 is Christmas red. I know most cross stitchers are probably on the same page. So this next one is more of a collection. Like I said earlier, I'm playing around with collections, and it's also very adaptable. They're customizable. It's super easy. I thought it was very overly clever when I came up with this idea. To be honest with you, it was kind of in a meditation dream. I'm a bit witchy, and I found out a couple years ago through meditation and whatnot that my I don't want to say my inner animal is a fox. I was not expecting a fox, but it's a fox. And so the song What Does the Fox Say come to mind, and I had gotten this new baby fabric that had little red foxes on it, and I was like, brilliant, what does the fox say? I am going to embroider things that the fox says. So this one says, I love you. This is also my first real play with embroidery. So some of these are going to be better than others. And I just got some new fabric pens and supplies to up my embroidery game as well. So this one says, I love you. I love the cute little foxes. This fabric also has some different poses of the foxes. This one, and I must say these are supportive foxes. These are not creepy foxes. So this one says, nice ass. He's a supportive fox. And then these are also backed in gray fabric as well. I thought it was hilarious. This one's actually for a friend. This was also suggested by a friend. This gives 0 fox, which I thought was super clever. So like I said, these are super, and I did this one in more of an orange, burnt orange. Like I said, these are customizable. These are fun. What does the fox say? He can say anything he wants. What would your fox say? Whoop. This one is a very supportive fox. Take your meds. It's always good to be reminded, take your meds. You can put this in your bathroom. This one was the first one I did. Once again, anger inspires me. And also the embroidery, you can tell. Fuck off, the fox, you know. You could also do fox off. Who gives a fox? If you want to keep it clean. But these are all backed in gray. I had a lot of fun doing these. You can see the pencil in some of these, and that's okay. It's just fun to play around. It's just fun to play around, try new things. I had a lot of fun doing these. I probably will continue the collection and kind of do them better with the new supplies that I have, and just practice, really. So this is my last finish. This is a giveaway for a local giveaway. I live in Bend, Oregon, and everybody here, we all love the Bend logo. Everybody loves Bend. It's a great place to live. We really enjoy it. So this was just, once again, a nice, easy finish. I backed this in a green, kind of a Kelly green felt, because it's very lush, very green here. We have a lot of outdoor space. So I was like, it was perfect. It's green. So yeah, so those are the finishes that I have done since I have seen you last. I'm hoping, like I said, to have that hoppy home to show you, and the cupcake piece actually to show you as finishes next time. So that will be very, very exciting. And I'm sure I'll have other random pieces. I tend to get sidetracked. I'll be working on a commission piece and I'm like, oh, this is in my brain. So, and I need to get it out. So I'll usually do small little pieces that way. I've definitely added a lot to my little notes in my phone. My notes section has grown a huge list of cross stitch ideas. And I'm really getting into the embroidery ideas. And you may just see a little bit more out there art in general from me. I don't know, I'm playing around with a lot of ideas out there. So I really appreciate all the support and the suggestions and everything that you all have given to me. It means a lot. I'm just a mom trying to find my way in this art world. So every little bit of support helps. So if you would hit the like button, that'd be awesome. Subscribe, share, great. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day, wherever this finds you. And until next time, keep it stitchy.